Okay, so this is the Somatics lesson. Yeah, we're just going to start with the body scan. So yeah, make yourself as comfortable as you can, be it laying down, be it sitting, and if it's comfortable to close your eyes, close your eyes. And you know, if you, the eyes are the biggest thing to assist, I think, with these classes. But as soon as your eyes are open, you're alert and you're not really in that place. And every time you're practicing somatics, you know, it basically the word soma comes from mind, body, and by shutting the eyes off, we've got to really kind of listen and to really focus on what we're feeling and sensing. And what's the biggest thing you notice when your eyes are closed? It might be you notice a physical sensation in the body. It might be, you know, you notice your energy. I mean, I'm noticing I'm twitching and like, oh, didn't know what that was about. So just noticing these little quirks of the body. And obviously, if you're noticing that you've got physical pain or anything, you can always adjust, rearrange, prop up. Just taking a scan of yourself and just picturing and sensing the space that you occupy. If you're laying down, just picturing the imprint that you're making on the mat. If you're sitting, just picturing, you know, where you've arranged your feet, your knees, your hips. And just even taking in the aspect of the body between the ground and the ceiling. Noticing the depth of the body, so if you're sitting tall, journeying up the spine to the crown of the head. If you're laying down, picturing from the back of the hips to the belly. For you to notice the symmetry of the body. Not all symmetrical. We can picture our symmetry by using the ground, using it like a little mirror. So do the hips weigh the same? Do the shoulders weigh the same? And as you're sitting, do you tend to feel maybe that you're heavier on one side than you are on the other? We're not adjusting any of these things. It's all about just noticing the body as it is to start with. Just maybe even picture how we've arranged the hands. Are they upturned? Are they downturned? Are the arms close to the body? Are the arms resting on the body? Are your feet relaxed? Are your feet kind of alert, ready to pounce? Is your jaw relaxed? Is your face relaxed? So, you know, all we've got to do is just arrange ourselves in a comfortable position. But you've had a lot kind of subconsciously to say in how that's done. And moving just down the layer of your body into your pranamaya kosha. We've been doing koshas in the other lesson. So that first physical layer is the outward body. But we're connected through different, you know, we're not just one thing. We have breath that comes in and out. We have moods that affect the body. We're just noticing your breath and how it affects the body, and maybe just checking in on the energy levels of the body. And just checking in again on the mood of the body. And just checking, you know, is there any interplay between how you feel now and the mood that you're feeling, or is the mood interrupting the energy of the body in any way? Let's try to do all the movements today in a relaxed manner, just so we can work with our parasympathetic nervous system. So that is where the body starts to learn and let go. But really, really deep within. Subconscious traits that we pick up. I didn't even know was there, but we're just going to try to unmask and hopefully let that body feel nice and free today. So from whatever position you're in, so if you're laying on the floor, bring your feet in so they stand in front of your hips, and obviously if you're sitting, you might even still have your feet in front of you and have them on the floor. Maybe just make sure they're comfortable. But we're going to start with our, what's it called, our pelvic tilt, so our arch and flatten. So starting to tip your pelvis of, if you're laying on the floor, your tailbone's going to lean into the floor, you're going to let your belly begin to lift, keeping your shoulders on the floor, and then drawing your belly button back towards the spine, allow the spine to flatten. If you're sitting up, but again, we can use that lower back, pull the belly button in and allow the lower back to flatten. You'll feel your tailbone tucking underneath you and softening down to look to your lap. So in those two ways, we're just moving that pelvis, but that is going to move the spine. So it's really like your head's just trying to stay balanced on top of the spine. If you're laying on the floor, you're going to maybe experience it that your head's beginning to nod. So tilting your tailbone into the floor. Allow your chin to come into your throat, and as you take it, push your lower back into the floor, your chin begins to gently lift. You're just noticing the bones, or just going on a little journey. Everything's about the bones at this moment in time. The tailbone leans heavier, the bones of the spine begin to be drawn, and as you relax it, again, there's a journey through those bones. Just let that journey happen. Just feeling again that kinetic, almost chain of motion, whether or not you're seated, whether or not you're laying. Just feel that sense of the journey of the bones. Checking for evenness as you're doing this. Do you feel that you do this most on one side of the body? So it's often quite nice for me just to slow that movement completely down to notice as you took a tailbone over under, do you feel that the pelvis meets the ground in the same way on each side, or does one side feel that little bit heavier? So it's what if you focus now on making it an even movement left and right. You get these little things like my teacher James Knight calls them aha moments. I never realised personally that I was a bit wonky until I really focused on this motor action. So just rehearsing again, just making the movement even. When you're ready, just allow yourself just to soften to centre, and again, maybe just bring your legs out in front of you, just close your eyes and just to tune into the rhythm of the breath. Take all the time that you need to breathe. We're going to just approach that again, just in a different way, but more muscular this time. So again, just arranging your feet and your hips as you had before. And this time I want you to just focus on the muscles of the back of the body and just begin to picture that you could have complete control over them. And all we're going to do is just begin to squeeze and tighten the muscles of the back. And notice as you do that, you feel your pelvis beginning to tilt forwards and the back begin to arch off the floor. And then just again, imagine, you're in control of it, you've got this mind, relax those muscles and just allow yourself just to soften back to a central point. And again, tighten the muscles of the back, and again, as you tighten them, you feel the shoulders drawing down the back, the heart beginning to lift and the tailbone rolling away. And again, just relaxing those muscles. We're just going to do this one more time. So focusing on those muscles of the back, tightening, heart beginning to lift, head beginning to nod or lift depending on the position of the body. And again, just relaxing them completely. Just allow them to switch off. And just focus again just on breathing and feeling supported by the ground. I'm going to just focus down the front of the body. So the reason we flatten the back is the muscles of the tummy pull back and it tightens the tummy, which draws the ribs closer to the pelvis. So I'll just take an inhale, but on the out breath, pull the belly button back and just feel the strength of your tummy, bringing those ribs closer to the pelvis. So if you're laying down, the back's going to flatten, your chin's going to lift. And if you're sitting, you're going to be looking down to your lap. And then just relax and just let the spine come back to its natural shape. Again, belly button pulls in, exhaling, feeling again those muscles. The tummy are tightened, but the ones at the back are lengthening and releasing. And again, as you take your next breath, just relax and let go. And then one more time, muscles, the tummy are tightening. It might be this is a familiar thing. You don't realise that these muscles tighten sometimes involuntarily. Again, just let them go. And then just switching between the two, we're just going to do 3 rounds of tightening the back and then tightening the tummy. And tightening the back and tightening the tummy. So in your own time. And then just let everything go and just check in on how it is to be. So if you're laying on the floor, maybe again just extend your legs out in front of you and just check in again on how the body sits into the floor. So these rests are not just about, keeping your energy conserved. It's just about the brain and the muscles speaking to each other and just getting to notice the changes. This grounder is a little mirror. It's telling you what has changed, and you might just, even like a little map. You might just feel there's a little bit more settling in the body as we start to let go of the tension that shapes the body. So again, we're going to stand our feet up in front of our hips, and if you're sitting, do the same thing. So you've got your feet just in front of you. And what we're going to do now is begin to tilt the pelvis from side to side. So we're going to use our right foot, just push it forward, and you're going to feel yourself leaning to the left. And then relaxing your hips. So you just do that again a few times. So you're going to just push your right foot down and almost forwards and feel yourself rolling towards the left. And then just do it one more time. So feel that pelvis. If you're sitting, your right buttock's going to cross the floor and you're leaning to the left, and then relaxing down. Then we'll just do the same thing with the left leg. So again, keeping your left leg exactly as it is, push it down and forwards, and just feel how you begin to roll to your right. Let's do that again a few times, keeping that foot nice and steady footprint, and just feeling how you can roll to the right. And then when you're ready, just relax into centre and just do it with both sides. So pushing into your right foot, feel yourself leaning to the left, and then pushing into your left foot and leaning to the right. You're rocking that pelvis from side to side. If you're lying on the floor, we can notice, how as you push with your left hip lifts, we lengthen into that right side of the body. And as you're pushing with your right foot and you roll to the left, you get length down the left side body. And you're chatting, you're tightening that right side, so just make a shortening. What the spine is doing in the middle of it, what is the spine doing? Do you feel what the head is doing in the middle of it? Just spend some time just noticing what the head is doing. Is it turning? Is it staying central? And then just allow yourself just to settle in the centre again. And just coming again into your rest position. Just notice and sensing the hips and how they rest into the floor. Notice and sensing the back and the waist. So let's take ourselves very carefully to seated, so roll into one side, and we're going to use this. Why am I wearing dark clothes on a green? I'm going to get rid of the mat so you can see my legs a little bit. Yeah, so you can. That's better. I can see now. Widen out your legs, put your hands to the floor behind you, and using that similar stance to move into a bit of a twist. So we're just going to firstly begin to windscreen wipe the knees. So we're going to drop the knees just to the right, and then windscreen wipe carefully the knees to the left. And start to notice as you do that, it's going to feel really nice to let your hip come off the floor. So let your right hip come off the floor. And again, as you roll the other way, letting your left hip come off the floor. Gentle internal rotation of the knees and external rotation of the knees as well. Then starting to maybe take this towards a little bit of a twist. So again, this, as you bring your knees across to the left, take your right hand across the left as well, and just place the fingers on the floor and gently look over your left shoulder. And, look with your eyes, move your eyes around, and maybe look with your head. And when you want to move, again, we're going to roll across the back of the pelvis and bringing both hands across to the right. And again, look with your eyes, look with your head, and get a good sense of what the neck is doing as you turn. And whenever you're ready, move in the opposite way. So just taking your time just to gently explore, rolling and looking around to the space behind you. So we're never going into pain, we're trying our best just to work comfortably and softly. What I do love about this, after a while I start to feel like an owl, and you start to realise that your neck begins to turn that little bit easier. Slow the movement down again, like I said, just take that time just to not forcing into joints. And it could be that you don't even want to, that the next time you bring your hands across to the right, just slide your left hand just a little bit away from you, and imagine that you're doing a carpet advertisement and you're like, oh, look at my carpet, it's so soft, it's softer than yours, buy my carpet. And then when you want to, roll back and go the other way, and as you bring your right hand across, again, slide it away from you again, feel the carpet, feel the mat. And then when you're ready again, roll the other way. So just, finding that way of exploring, reaching away from the centre of the body, from the pelvis, through the shoulders to the hands. Just let your hands be, notice that hand, whenever you place that hand, it's doing some beautiful little movements in your hip. It might even just be that you do it a little bit, just maybe explore going just a gentle, little movement away from the hip, and rather than going for the larger movement. And then we could go the other way, and again, just explore going just a little bit, and just rather than the larger movement. And then when you're ready again, just come back to centre, and again, let your knees fall left and let your knees fall right. And just check if it feels a bit easier, so you can almost bounce into that. And then let's come back to resting, so we can again just maybe lay down for a second. Maybe we're going to just take another seat, and again just check in on what is changing in the body. Do we feel anything is changing in the body? Just see this is just an opportunity just to rest and absorb. So I'd like to explore the reclining pose that I demonstrated just before we started the class. And so we are only on the back briefly. So like I say, if you're pregnant, it's good. I'll show it you. If I've demonstrated first, then you kind of can know then how to go into it without staying too long on your back. So we start at the back. I've got my right, pushing things on the bed. I've got my right leg straight and my left leg bent, and my arms are out by my side. And I'm going to place my left hand on my chest with the elbow on the floor. And then the movement starts with the left foot. And what I'm going to do is push into it. So I'm going to feel that pelvis begin to tilt. So just create some more space. And I can feel my knees are beginning to go. And I can feel now that my right knee's turned out. And this left hand is beginning to be pushed down the arm. I'm going to then start to slide the left hand towards the right hand. And just doing that a few times. And then to come back, start to let the left hand slide back, and you're coming back onto your back, and then sliding your left hand down the arm towards your right hand, and maybe let your chin tilt. So I just want your hands to be in control of moving this hip. So as you slide the hand, you feel the ribs begin to turn, the pelvis begin to turn. See if you can keep that left knee standing as you do it, and roll it into that, see how you feel. So stay on your back, that's it, and just let the pelvis roll. Is that okay? Keep your knees standing up if you can. So if the knee's going in, see if you can keep that knee standing up. Let your head stay on the floor. Does anybody need to put a little cushion on the floor? So again, if you're feeling your head lifted, it might be that you've got that tension there. So let your head lift, keep your knee on the, keep your foot pointing flat. So let your head roll, that's it. Look into the hand. Maybe your chin's going to tilt back a little bit. And again, sliding back onto your back. Just feeling that in action. Keep the arm nice and relaxed. That's it. And always let your eyes unfurl completely. Again, bring the hand to the shoulder, slide it across the chest, slide it all the way down the hand. So again, the hand is, from the shoulder through the spine to the hip to the knee. The hand is very much in control again of how the body is moving. And just take your time. If you need to rest, if you need to change position, then obviously do that. You've always got to look after yourself in this as well. That is quite a sleepy little pose to do, like sleepy little sequence, quite somniferic. Is that the word? I don't think I'm just making up new words. It's like, like a little lullaby. And then we could even change the position of this left hand if that feels nice. You can, rather than, maybe just slide your right arm a little bit further. Maybe if you picture yourself like a clock, your hand might be starting at 9. Bring your hand towards 10, maybe towards 11. And then as you slide your left hand again along your right arm, you just find another place in the back, and again look at the palm and slide again yourself back onto your back. And again from the wrist through the elbow to the shoulder. Again, rolling, keep that knee pointing to the ceiling, and maybe even take your right hand overhead. And at this time, sliding the hand overhead, and you're going to get a little arch in your back if you do that. And again, rolling back onto your back, and again, sliding your hand overhead. Again, allow your spine to arch a few times, and again, maybe bringing that right arm back out somewhere else, and again, sliding your left hand towards your right hand. Again, just tune into how that hand has got so much control on your ribs, on your spine, on your hips, on your knees. And then whenever you're ready, just allow yourself just to settle. And again, it might be you're just going to relax onto the floor. It might be that you do just need to just maybe focus on the floor for a second and then come back up again, careful to seated, and just check in on yourself just for a moment. So again, if it doesn't feel pleasant, change position. So we're going to obviously switch sides. So again, bend in. This time your right knee this time. So you've got your left leg. That is right, isn't it? Yeah, your right leg. You've got your right knee bent and your left leg's on the floor, and arranging your arms out at shoulder height. Placing your right hand on your chest. Again, just let the elbow meet the floor to start with. And then start to slide your right hand so that the arm moves first. Let it go as far as it can down the left arm, and then feel as you reach towards the wrist begin to turn, and a little push of that foot rolls you and rolling back onto your back. And again, you don't have to uncurl all the way. You just might want to start that journey again, sliding the right hand along the left arm and noticing, just, slow it down. I just automatically push my foot then to help me. Slide the arm first. Notice when the foot needs to assist and keep looking at the hand, and whenever you're ready, again, roll back onto your back. And again, just play with that sensation. So you keep your head on the floor, so again I can see your head lifting. If you need to lift your head, maybe you're going to need a cushion. So let your head relax on the floor throughout this. So again, just take that tension out of the neck. That's it, let your head find the floor. Just let your head stay on the floor. Think about your head being like a big fat rolling pin. There you go. And then when you're ready, maybe just change the position of your left arm. So maybe you could picture it being at 3 o'clock by your side. Maybe try it at 2 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock. But again, it's that right hand that's going to start the journey. Slide it across the chest and on the arm again towards the fingertips. And you can just feel that in a different place. And again, sliding back. So just accessing different parts of the back. So just spend some time, just sense and feel it at any given time. Which part of the back is moving? You might start to notice that this hand of yours, this right hand, goes beyond the left hand as well. And maybe even take the left arm overhead and sliding your hands towards your left hand. You're going to begin to arch the spine. And again, sliding the hand back down towards the chest. And again, sliding that right hand towards the left hand. You're going to find yourself, again, arching the spine. Just feeling those bones being pushed up through the body. And whenever you're ready, just again relax back down and switch, just change position of the arm again, maybe just coming back to as we started. Slow the movement down, taking the hand towards the hand, and again that little push, keep the knee pointing to the ceiling, and again take your time again just to explore coming back onto your back. And just allow yourself again just to release it into the floor, bringing your legs anywhere that's comfortable, and feel the ground behind the body. And again, if you need to change position, changing position. Just make sure that you feel comfortable and at ease. So we can do the next pose as a sitting or a reclining posture, and it is we're going to be doing the feet of the flower pose. So if you're standing your feet up to start with, walking your feet together, and then letting your knees drop outwards. There you go. So obviously if you're sitting, it's going to be a lot nicer if your hands are on the floor behind you to support you. And we're going to firstly move with the pelvis. So we're just going to again lean the tailbone forwards towards the floor, and then relax the lower back into the floor. So again, pull the navel back, and again leaning the tailbone forwards towards the floor, and again flattening the back into the floor, and rolling between those two places, and just noticing that it feels like your heels are creeping towards your bottom. And obviously if you're laying down, you're going to feel this differently. If you're laying down, your knees might be moving up and down like little butterfly wings. Obviously if you're sitting, your thighs are coming closer to your shins is what you might tend to notice. But Just notice what your knees are doing. So really get a good sense of those joints of the knees. What are they doing? And then all we're going to do now is just notice the feet, what the feet are doing. So in fact, let's just bring out the soles of our feet together, push the soles of feet more together. And as you roll into your tailbone, you might just feel pressure changes in the feet. I don't feel it so much sitting actually, but if you're laying down, you're going to feel, your feet and that, you might feel that you've got more focus on the outer edge of the foot and the inside edge of the foot at any given time to move in. So I just want now the feet to take over. So we're just going to relax for a second to let all that movement go. And then we're going to bring our focus to the feet. So I want you firstly just to press into the outside edge of the feet, the little toe sides, and feel what happens as you push into that point of the body. Do we feel our pelvis rolling forwards again and coming into a little bit of an arch in that lower back? And then just relax and just let everything soften. So again, it's that push, the push into that outside edge of the feet. Start to notice as that little creep of the tailbone rolls forwards. And again, whenever you're ready, just let go of it. We're just going to do that maybe 2 more times. So again, just pushing into the outside edge of the feet, feeling that energy coming up into the hips, through the bones. And again, let go of that. Just 1 more time in your own time. And then just relax for a second, and we're going to then switch it sides. So I want you to now this time use the inside edges of the feet. So we're going to use the big toe side. Push into the big toe side of the feet, and you're going to feel your knees kind of lifting up, and that lower back begins to round into the floor, and then just relax it and going into the inside edge of the feet, pushing the balls of the feet together, the big toe, and again knees begin to flatten back rounds, and again just relax it. And again, big toe side of the foot, and again, feel the lower back drop, knees flat, and again, relax it. And just do it 1 more time in your own time. It's just this inner side edge of the leg is contracting. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to just switch sides, push into little, push into big, push into little side of the foot, push into big, just let the knees begin to flap in their own way. And then whenever you're ready, just let go. Extend your legs out in front of you and just feel, again, the ground beneath your hips, feeling the ground beneath your thighs. And just take a really good rest. Maybe you're going to, if you're sitting, just to come to seated, just to check in on how that is to sit. Does it feel a more comfortable position? Well, we're going to come back to seated just briefly again, just with our final little 2 movements. And I think last week we realised that in fact it didn't suit everybody the way that we did this movement. So we can do this with our legs wider if that feels better. And it's kind of a similar thing to what we've just been doing with the feet. So what we've just been, so obviously as you were laying down, I know you just maybe had a rest and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. But when we with the feet, you were pushing into the little toes and the big toes, and we had all this going on. So we're going to move the pelvis. And what we did last week from this is that from this position, I was saying about bringing your belly out to the right. So, excuse me. As you push into your right big toe, you're going to bring your belly over to the right a little bit, and your left hip comes off the floor, and then coming back, and then push your belly over to the left, and let your right hip come off the floor, and just moving that belly left to right. But I think last week that aggravated a few little bits, so you can always widen out the feet to do this. So we can take our hands into the floor behind us, have the knees wide. If that is just going to be nice as a little posture break. And maybe even have the legs straight, have the feet a little bit closer in, but not a full-on bend. And then whenever you're ready, it's just, in fact, that was the modification, dropping the knees in. So well, whichever position you choose to start in, I want you to start to lean with your belly and start to let your belly move to the right. And so obviously if you're sitting and you don't have those legs crossed, let both knees come to the right and again coming back to centre, and then again leading with your belly to the left, lead with your tummy coming over to the left. And again leading back. So again, you can always explore doing that with the feet together and again leading with your belly to the right and seeing how it feels to lift, and keeping the soles of the feet glued. So if your feet are kind of dropping onto the floor, keep the soles of the feet glued. Again, rolling across the back of the pelvis and again leading to the right. Going across the back of the pelvis and again leading to the left. And again, just play with that again. Lots of work again for hips in these lessons at the moment. And the hips, to me, it's a central part of the body that, you know, we have a lovely free hip swing and we walk. It's a big junction, isn't it, the hip between the spine and the lungs. Okay, so from this place, we're just going to take ourselves to seated. So just bring yourself back to seated. And take your hands to your inner, I'm just going to walk myself back a little bit towards your inner ankles. And keep your hand on your ankle, so with this one. And all we're going to start to do is slowly slide one leg forwards. So as you slide it forward, you know, you don't just maybe do it a little bit at first, slide it forwards, and we're just going to let our chest begin to lean with it and then bring it back and slide it forwards and slide it in and maybe explore going that little bit further. And you know, we don't, you know, notice what the knee's doing as you're doing this. The knee might be turning out and it might start to slowly begin to rotate towards the ceiling, but again, slide it back in and sliding forwards and again, slide it back in. Just take your time just to explore that. Maybe even slide it outwards and lean out with it, and again slide it back. And slide it outwards and lean with it and slide it back. And then slide it forwards again and let your body go with it, and again slide it back. So again, this heel is in control of the body. It might be you've got a hand on a big toe, hand on the sole of the foot. Let that leg be in control of, again, the pelvis and the spine. So as you push the foot forward, the pelvis is rolling forward, the spine is lengthening gently forwards. Again, just feel the action through the bones. Again, you just can explore again, just going gently into with shallowness, just a tiny little movement. And it might be that you just want to rest in one of these places. If you want to rest in one of these places, you know, maybe just allow yourself just to rest for a fraction. We're not pushing into a fold. I don't want you to feel that you're like, oh, I've got to get my head to a knee. Rest there. And then again, slowly bring that leg back in. And just for a moment, we're just going to bring both knees forwards, give the knees a paddle and just let go of that. And just check in on the leg you've just been working on. How does it feel? Does it contact the floor in a different way? And then bringing the feet back in again. And we're going to do the opposite leg. So making contact with the ankle, the foot, wherever you're going to find is a good place. And again, just that slow push forward. So again, start little. Bring it in. And just try to be, you know, using a little effort. So again, I don't want you to, you know, push forward with effort. It's just a little push. Heel goes forwards, heel comes in, and you know, just think about this top of the body almost being asleep, and it's just this leg is moving, and everything else just starts to follow it. Just almost let the breath bring you forwards, gently bringing forwards, and again, gently bring you forwards. And let the heel push you forwards. Again, notice what the knee's doing. So as you're pushing that leg forward, the knee begins to turn to the ceiling maybe, and comes back in. We can explore again going out to the side, so take it out and gently lean with it. And Now again, it might be that I don't need to force, think I've got to get the leg straight. You know, it might be that you just lean a little bit and think that's nice. And just, thinking about the comfort level in your hips. Just, again, just taking it just a little bit into that action might just feel quite pleasant and quite a nice thing that's going to be good for your hips. But then it might be that you just surprise yourself that on maybe the next one that you've gone a little bit further and you're like, oh, I didn't think I could do that. And again, just see how it feels. And again, whenever you're ready, take the foot forwards again. And again, if it feels nice just to have a little rest in any of these places, have a little rest or just rest completely. And then when you're ready, if you just take yourself just to seated or maybe have a little relax down and have a good rest. So we could do a double leg version of this if we really want to. So if you do want to join in, you can. But if you just want to have a little rest and just stay where you are, then come stay where you are. So I'm again just coming back to my seated position, and I've got the feet together, and I've got my hands on my feet, and then it's a slide forward and just taking it into just a gentle fold. So again, you don't have to do this at all if you don't fancy that. So again, your hands on the feet, you pull them in. And again, just a gentle push forwards and letting the spine come with it. Just breathe. And then let's take ourselves just into our resting position. So just make yourself nice and comfortable. Again, propping yourself up with cushions, whatever you need. And all my yoga classes this week have been benefiting from Yoga Nidra. Like I said, my other lessons have been looking at the koshas as a way of exploring the body. So through yoga theory, the koshas are like looking at yourself like a little Russian doll. And the physical one is the layer we've been looking at this week. So our muscles and our bones, everything. And then over the next few weeks in those lessons, we're going to be looking at the other layer. So the next layer down is our breath body. The one after that is our mind body, then it's knowledge body, and then bliss body. So so it's a really good way to get to know the body. It's just really sometimes nice to practice Nidra. So just making yourself comfortable, propping yourself up if you need to. Closing your eyes and just tuning into, again, this physical self. And we have to accept that wherever we are in our houses, in our homes, it's going to be sounds outside. Maybe someone's chosen to start mowing the garden. We've got people like chopping trees down here. And just got to accept that these sounds are going to be there. There's nothing we can do to control them. What's important is just the ability to let go of anything that's going to interrupt you. You could just maybe go down through the senses, just noticing the flavours in the mouth. Noticing any scents around the room and the body. Noticing how the body touches the floor. The way your clothing touches your skin. While your eyes are closed, what are you seeing behind the lids? As we bring our focus inwards, we're going to then take it to a body part. And I want to rest your awareness on your right hand. And just picture the palm of the right hand. And the thumb, the index finger, the middle, the ring, and the little finger. And picturing the back of the hand, and picturing the wrist, sensing the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm, the whole right hand and arm. Drifting your attention across just to the right shoulder. Sense the shoulder blade on the back ribs, the socket, the collarbone to the centre of the chest, the whole right shoulder. And across to the left shoulder, the collarbone, the blade, the upper arm, the elbow, the lower left arm, the left wrist, the left palm, the fingers, the thumb, the back of the left hand, the whole left arm and the whole left shoulder. Just feel and sense every part of it, every sensation, every tingle, the heat. And moving down to the right foot, just picturing the toes of the right foot, the middle, the big, the next, the middle, the next, the little toe. And the top of the right foot, the sole, the heel, the ankle, connecting into the shin, the knee, the thigh, and the right hip, front and back, the whole right leg, the whole right foot. Into the left foot, the big toe, the next, the middle, the next and the little toe, and the top of the foot, and the sole of the foot, and the heel and ankle, and the shin, the knee, the thigh, the left hip, the buttocks, and the whole left leg and the whole left foot. Drift your attention just to the pelvis, the tailbone, the sacrum, the crests, and round to the front of the pelvic bone. Visualize the muscles, the joints, and then drifting up the spine. Just notice all the space around the belly and the sensations you feel around the belly, around the lower back, into the pelvic bone. Picture the breathing of softness into the lower back and into the belly, and into the pelvic bone. And moving gently up past the heart centre, feeling the way the spine curves outwards, sweeps back inwards to the neck. Just connecting to the movement of our breath in our ribs, front and back, sideways. Soft awareness then just to the way the head meets the neck. Journeying around the back of the neck to the back of the head, and around the crown of the head. Sensing the softness of our foreheads, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the right eyelid, the left eyelid, the nose, the nostrils, the top lip, the bottom lip, chin, the jaw, the right cheek, the left cheek, the eyelashes, and the soft, restful eyes. And breathe. Extends the whole face. And it's the entire body. And as we sense the entire body, just again notice how the breath is. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Noticing just the energy of the body flowing gently through it. Just noticing the mind, body, is it quiet? The goal of yoga nidra is to just relax the body and allow the mind to quieten, and then we can just install a positive affirmation. And it's an I am statement, it's not an I will or I'm going to be, I am this thing. And it could be multiple things, it could be a very short sentence, it could be something that you need just for today, it could be something you need for the week, it could be something that you've got for life. Mind changes all the time. But just maybe think of one that you might want, just might pop into your head, you might just think for a second, don't let it stress you, and then whenever you're ready, just start to just gently tell it to yourself in your own room. You can say it loud, you can scream it, you can maybe just whisper it to yourself, but just remind yourself of these qualities. As you let go of this phrase, just imagine it just sinking down into the bones of yourself, maybe down to your heart, heading in, taking root. Just notice where your attention drifts. Is it needing any attention at all? Is it just there? You don't have to do anything, just to stay present. And then just going to bring your focus again just to the whole self. Just picture it wherever you are, be it on the floor, be it sitting, just picture it. And just consciously breathing, feeling again that you just got a little bit more energy to that breath as you take it in. And just sighing out. And again, that conscious breath in. And sighing out. And you can just begin to think about coming away from this. And you know, maybe slowly open your eyes and just absorbing where you are in the room. And obviously changing position, coming to seated. Okay. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm just going to record. That's good. Yes, it will.